Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Sir Ryan TV, and here we are again with another brand new episode of Learn with Sir Ryan. Okay, so today we will be discussing the next topic or lesson 2 in English 9, which is conditionals. Alright, but before we discuss that, shout out muna sa lahat ng mga nakapanood sa aking video last week. Umabot tayo ng 200 plus views in just 2 days, I guess. I don't know kung ilan na siya ngayon. Pero thank you so much. And I just hope na nakakatulong. Hope lang. Hindi ko alam kung nakakatulong ba talaga. Pero kung nakakatulong, yun. Diba? So, thank you so much for watching. And I'll be filming all the topics in English 9. Okay, mag-alala. Lahat yun na i-discuss natin dito sa aking channel. So yun na nga, thank you so much sa lahat ng mga estudyante mula sa grade 9. So sa aking mga estudyante sa grade 9 Chico, grade 9 Avocado, grade 9 Guyabano, Kamatsili, and Dalandan. Thank you so much. At sa mga modular students sa grade 9, maraming salamat sa papanood. For watching. Thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe in my YouTube channel. Libre lang naman. Subscribe ka na. Okay na yun. Ano ka ba? Alright, so same with modals. Conditionals have 4 types. So meron din siyang 4 na uri. First is the zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and the third conditional. So pag-uusapan natin ng 4 na uri ng conditionals in this video. So let's start with the zero conditional. Pag sinabi natin zero conditional, wala siyang kondisyon. Kaya nga tinawag na zero eh. Bakit wala? Kasi mangyayari ang dapat talagang mangyari. So, ito yung description niya, yung meaning niya. This conditional is used when the result will always happen. Just like what I've said, yung resulta ay ganun talaga, wala nang iba pang mangyayari. Yun talaga yon. Example, if water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. Tama ba? Kapag nag 100 degrees yung tubig, kukulo siya. Yes. So, wala kang ibang kondisyon. Hindi siya matutunaw, hindi siya kung anong mangyari, kukulo talaga siya. That is zero conditional. Okay, first conditional. The first conditional refers to the present and future. Kung anong ngayon at kung anong mangyayari sana or gagawin bukas or in the future. Let's take a look at this statement. Magulo pa yon, but let's take a look at this statement. If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. Alright, so this sentence has 2 parts. May dalawang parts siya. First is the if clause and the main clause. Alright, ano yung if clause, ano yung main clause? Yung if clause, siya yung first part. Yung main clause, siya naman yung second part. That is the second part. Alright, the if clause is if the weather is nice. If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. Okay? So yun yun. Next statement. If you don't apologize, she will never trust you again. Let's take a look at the if clause and the main clause. If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. If the weather is nice, posible bang mangyari na maging nice ang weather? Yes or no? Yes, posible. We will go for a walk. Posible din bang gawin yan? Posible din, kayang-kaya din gawin yan. Yan ang tinatawag na first conditional. If the first clause or the if clause is possible to happen and the main clause is also possible to happen. If both of the clauses are possible, then that is a first conditional. Okay, let's take a look at the second example. If you don't apologize, she will never trust you again. Let's take a look at the if clause. If you don't apologize, posible ba na hindi ka mag-apologize? Yes, that's possible. What about she will never trust you again? Is that possible? Yes, posible din. So that is the meaning of the first conditional. If the first clause or the if clause in the main clause are possible to happen. Alright, okay, so let's proceed to the second conditional. Second conditional, let's take a look at this statement. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. Again, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. Another example, if I knew his number, I would phone him. If I knew his number, I would phone him. Alright, so let's take a look at the second conditional. Alright, in these statements, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. So same with first conditional, it has two parts, the if clause and the main clause. Look at the if clause. If I had a lot of money, then let's look at the main clause. I would buy a big house. So the if clause is unreal. Bakit unreal? Kasi wala naman talaga siyang pera. Sinasabi niya lang, kung may pera lang ako, yun yung sabi niya, bibili ako ng malaking bahay. Pero nga wala siyang pera. Okay, hindi siya real. Another example, if I knew his number, I would phone him. Alam niya ba yung number? Hindi. Pero kung alam niya lang daw sana, tatawagan niya siya. Pero hindi niya alam eh. Alright, so I guess medyo naguguluhan pa kayo sa ating lesson. So let's compare first conditional sa kung anong pinagkaiba niya sa second conditional. Take a look at this slide. Alright, so if John runs fast, he will win the race. This is still possible to happen. Bakit? Kasi ang sabi dito, kung tatakbo ng mabilis si John, mananalo siya sa paligsahan. So posible siyang tumakbo ng mabilis at posibleng manalo siya sa paligsahan. Diba? Alright, so let's take a look at the second statement. If John ran fast, he would win the race. So this is second conditional. Bakit? This is unlikely to happen because John doesn't run fast. Mabagal naman kasi talaga siyang tumakbo kaya walang posibilidad na manalo siya sa race. Okay, so the difference between first and second conditional. Both conditionals refer to the present and future. Pareho lang yung sa time nila. Parehas lang. The difference is about probability, not time. Yung posibilidad na mangyari. Sa first conditional, real and possible situations. Ibig sabihin, totoo talaga at posible siyang mangyari. While in second conditional, it's unlikely to happen. Hindi talaga siya mangyayari. Kasi bakit nga? Kasi hindi naman talaga siya ganun. Kagaya kay John. Diba? If John ran fast, he would win the race. Pero hindi siya talaga mananalo kasi nga mabagal talaga siyang tumakbo. Unlike sa my first conditional, if John runs fast, he will win the race. Ang sabi dito, kung tatakbo siya ng mabilis, mananalo siya sa paligsahan. So may posibilidad na manalo siya kung tatakbo siya ng mabilis. So alright, so let's proceed to the third conditional. Take a look at these statements. Alright, if I had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house. Another one. If I had known his number, I would have phoned him. Anong na-notice nyo sa mga statements? Yes, very good. It happened already in the past. Ito yung mga bagay na parang sa buhay natin, yung mga pinagsisisihan natin. Okay, discuss natin siya. If I had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house. Alright, again, ito ay meron pa ring dalawang parts, the if clause and the main clause. Take a look at the if clause. If I had a lot of money, ang sabi niya dito, kung meron lang sana akong, kung nagkaroon lang sana ako ng maraming pera, so kung nagkaroon, ibig sabihin, nangyari siya in the past na. I would have bought a big house. Nakabili na sana ako ng malaking bahay. Diba? Yun yung main clause niya. What about sa second statement? If I had known his number, I would have phoned him. Ang sabi niya dito, kung alam ko lang sana, kung nalaman ko lang sana ang kanyang number, tinawagan ko na sana siya. Alright, so the third conditional refers to the past and is not based on facts. Yung mga nangyari na dati at hindi siya based sa may katotohanan. It expresses the situation which is contrary to reality in the past. Okay, so another example lang yan ay ganito. Tatagalogin na natin. Kung sinagot mo lang sana ako dati nung nanligaw ako sa'yo, di sana masaya tayo ngayon. Alright, so let's compare what is the difference of second and third conditional. Simple lang. Sa second conditional, ang pinagkaiba niya lang ay yung time. Pinagkaiba niya sa third conditional ay yung time. Kasi sa may second conditional, yung time ay ngayon at sa future. Ngayon at sa future. While in the third conditional ay yung nangyari sa past and in the future. Yun ang yung pinagkaiba. It's just the time. Okay, so before we have our activity for this lesson, let's have a short recap first. First conditional, it expresses a possible condition and its probable result in the future. Example, kung liligawan ko siya, ito yung posible nating condition. Kung liligawan ko siya, baka sakaling sagutin niya ako. Diba? Posible mo siyang ligawan at posible kanyang sagutin. So let's proceed to the second conditional. The second conditional refers to the present and future. It expresses an unreal situation, hindi totoo yung sitwasyon, and its probable result, kung anong posible sanang mangyari. The situation is, or condition is improbable, impossible, imaginary, or contrary to known facts. Example, okay, so ang sabi kasi unreal situation, hindi totoo yung situation. Like for example, sasabihin mo, kung pogi lang sana ako, totoo ba? Hindi. Kung pogi lang sana ako, baka sinagot niya na ako. Okay? Ano yung hindi totoo doon? Yung pogi sana ako. Yun yung ano niya, yung unreal situation. Alright, so what about the third conditional? The third conditional refers to the past, yung nangyari na nung nakaraan, and is not based on facts. It expresses a situation which is contrary to reality in the past. Like for example, sasabihin mo ngayon, kung niligawan ko lang sana siya, hindi mo kasi niligawan. Kung niligawan ko lang sana siya dati, edi sana jowa ko na siya ngayon. See? Kung niligawan ko lang sana siya dati, edi sana jowa ko na siya ngayon. Inulit. Alright, so now, I guess our topic is understood. I have here an activity. I want you to answer this one. Alright, so I guess you're done. Let's check your work. Alright, so with that, I hope that you learned in our lesson, in our discussion. Kung medyo magulo pa, balikan nyo lamang ulit ang video na to at panoorin ulit. So with that, I have to say goodbye. See you in our next lesson.